Welcome everyone to the Urbanist Day broadcast. Today is the 5th year anniversary of running this show, and I want to celebrate with all of you with a picnic right here at the beautiful west side of Manhattan. And it is the 5th year anniversary of running Urbanist, so feel free to ask me any questions you would like about Urbanist. I have two special treats for this special picnic, and I'm happy to chat with all of you today. Urbanist has been a show about exploring cities all around the world and bringing fascinating stories to the comfort of your own phone. And it has been quite a journey. I've covered upwards of 22 cities around there, a little bit more actually. I think I might have hit 25 cities in the past 5 years. And it has been quite an epic experience because every new city comes with a new series of learnings, of finding out about oneself and finding out more about the world and finding out a little bit better about world history and how it affects us here to this day. So let me know where you're watching from. I'm Ariel, this is Urbanist. Today we're going to have a picnic here on the west side of Manhattan to enjoy the 5th year anniversary, and the Q&A will be everything about Urbanist. So feel free to ask me anything and everything about the show itself. Hello Susan, Urbanist Day, indeed it is. Hello Abby, hello Janice, hello G-Corb, hello Panajotis, hello Justk, hello Lena, hello Janice, Wilmy, Susan, welcome everyone. So how did Urbanist start? 5 years ago, in 2016, I was running the Facebook Live programming for a company called Vox Media, VOX, specifically under Curbed. Curbed is no longer under Vox Media. Now they're part of New York Magazine. So everything has changed with that publication. But that publication, I was running Facebook Live videos here on New York. I was hosting them with the editors of New York City, and I was coordinating with the editors of various cities around the US to make Facebook Lives in their own city. And I just got the bug for making live videos. It was such an exciting thing that I just wanted to make more. Curbed at that time was mostly pivoting towards home and decor, but I really always loved history, and I loved everything related to history. And then I also started getting a taste for architecture as well and urbanism. So long story short, that company did not like me being on camera. So I thought to myself, I cannot just merely be behind the camera, even though I like my abilities behind the camera. I felt like I had something good going on with being in front of the camera and telling people stories. So I decided to separate ways from that company and decided to do my own show. And that show ended up evolving to Urbanist, which is specifically about history and cities, and then it expanded to food a few months later. And here we are, 5 years later, I've explored many places around the world, and in this past year, in 2021, I have finally built Urbanist to a way where I can travel based on the income that I make from this show, which is great. It's something that anyone who does any type of job would like to do, especially if you love what you do. You would love to make money from it so you can do more of it. And this past year, it has been the case here with Urbanist. Hey Lucy, you've done a great job, congratulations. Susie, hello. Can you give a shout out to Joanne, who's a first time viewer? Hey Joanne, welcome. Happy Urbanist Day to you, even though you don't know too much about the show. Welcome. You'll be seeing more exploring soon here on Urbanist. Lucy says, I've done a great job. Hey, Basil. What was the first city you visited outside New York City? Great question. The first city I visited outside New York was Helsinki. Went very far away. It was the first city that was down to collaborate. So they sponsored my entire trip over there for a week. And I just fell in love. I fell in love with Helsinki. It was such a great, great show. Has it been very challenging, says Just Kate? Yeah, I mean, the best way, the best challenges anyone can ask for is the case here with Urbanist. But of course, yeah, it was challenging in the way that to fund these trips, I had to do other work, which was more than okay. To fund Urbanist, I had to do other work. And the way I do videos takes a lot of time because I am researching history, I'm researching about the culture, I am learning about the city that I'm visiting, and the videos are long. And then also I'm doing these short videos and these 360 videos, so it's very time intensive. And the more time I can dedicate to it, the better I feel with Urbanist. Are you at Waterline Square? I'll let everyone know where I'm at towards the end of the video. Hey Brian, nice to see you here. Hey, Leslie says, I can't travel now, but I've always loved it. Thank you for letting me see the world with you. My pleasure. I have two treats with me here today. And Paul asked a huge question. Let me go up to Paul. Hey, Edward. Edward, thank you so much for the €5 and the fifth year anniversary. This calls for a coffee. I got a coffee from a place called Maman. One of my favorites. They do a good cold brew. The ice has already melted because I was trying so hard to find a place where I can calmly shoot this video, and you know, sometimes in New York you don't realize how packed certain places can be, and luckily I found a place where it was relatively quiet and I have some shade. So Paul, who has been supporting the show for quite a while, let me see what you asked, Paul. We have many super urbanists here. I have a huge and uncomfortable questions. During your recent trips to Mexico, Greece, and Italy, you were critical of everything American when compared to everything surrounding you at the moment. You were critical of our food, our culture, and our architecture. And even our natural beauty was judged, says Paul. You know, I've gotten this response from a few people saying, oh my God, why are you talking trash about the US? I'm not talking trash about the US in no way, shape, or form. I am indeed being critical because I think we can do better in so many aspects. I deeply love this country and I love the US. I think it's rather evident how much I love America and I love New York even more specifically. These things, there's so much to appreciate. I think it's very evident from my videos in America that I love it deeply. And I usually do focus on the positives of New York. When I visited Maine, Boston, Washington, D.C., if you see any of those videos, I fully focused on the beauty of those places. But I love urbanism. I love urban planning, and I love food. And for me, I am not content with how things are planned in cities. Not because they're bad, not because they're terrible, but because I think we can do better. And if a show was a show filled with praise, I think there is no dynamic quality to it. Like any type of art, like any type of intellectual conversation, you have your bright sides and you have your shadows. So I think it's important for a worthy, fun discussion to see both sides. I think it's very important to see both sides. And I'm not criticizing people specifically because that's what news broadcasts tend to do. They tend to get very personal saying, oh, you do this politician did that person did this. They focus on that kind of negativity. If I criticize a thing, a plan, a piece of architecture. I don't criticize really the people behind it necessarily, at least. Is not my intention. So, yeah, we could do better in so many things. Why not discuss the things we can do better? Why not critically discuss what can be done better, what can be learned from other countries? And I'm equally critical of other countries with their own thing. So I think it's a fun conversation. I think sometimes in any type of discourse, people take it certain topics to heart. Like they take it very personally. Like, oh, you're dissing my country. How dare you? Or, oh, you're saying so much negativity. If it feels like I'm saying everything negative, then I'm not sure. I think my videos of 3 hours or 6 hours, maybe it hasn't been evident that I love the things that I've been to, both America and abroad. Isn't it evident that I love so many things about this beautiful country? You are stating what you were observing at the time, says Jenny. Yeah, precisely. And I think there's this kind of dichotomy in our modern world where it's you are either can't criticize even one bit, you can't say something bad, you can't look at anything negative because, oh, you don't want to offend anyone, don't want to offend the people. There's that end of the spectrum, and then you got the end of the spectrum of people saying shit to others, offending people, sometimes for the sake of offending or to always make things very personal. You have those two sides of the spectrum. Unfortunately, I think both sides are equally detrimental to our enjoyment of this life, our world, and our cities. It's detrimental to be either side of the spectrum, to either be too nice and too caring and too treading on shattered glass that's on the floor, and also it's detrimental to be too on the other side of the spectrum, too spiteful, too much of a provocateur. So I think it's better to have a little bit more of a middle ground, and that's why I think these videos, the longer ones, are great for having a little bit of a middle ground discussion, just to enjoy the beauty of life and to have a chat. I think chats are very important. It's very important to just have a chat and to not take everything so personal. I think it's so important. I mean, as long as you're not kind of trash talking someone specifically, but it's important to just have a chat. I think I think we're losing that a little bit in our daily lives and also in media. In media, you risk at any moment being canceled, or you risk any moment saying something that might be grossly taken out of context in media. And then in daily life, on an individual level, that happens as well. I think we're kind of losing sight of the beauty of just chatting. Very important to just chat. Hey, Elizabeth says, some people take things personal. You're doing a fantastic job. Oh, I'm so glad. Where do you get your sunglasses? I got it in Warby Parker. All right, so I got two treats with me. Kay says, too much political correctness happening in the world. Indeed it is. And I think even though I don't discuss politics, it's funny, people try to, I'm not picking at you, Paul, at all. I do know that you asked that with good intentions, but other individuals out there who have watched, who I will never mention their names because this is not that type of channel, but people try to implement political correctness to the topics I talk about, which is kind of crazy sometimes when I think about it. I think when you travel a lot, you tend to notice the differences. Right. You tend to notice the differences, and I think BA, that's correct. It's all part of a process of exploration. You see differences, you feel differences, and you just keep on going with the flow. So I have very special news towards the end of this video, so feel free to ask. But let me show you my first treat, something savory, and then I got something sweet. I got a roasted squash feta quiche from one of my favorite places, Maman. Here's Maman right there. Maman. Oh, it just looks like squiggly lines, but yes, Maman. Great quiche that I love these guys. So I highly recommend them. I've featured them a few times, either on my Instagram stories or my live videos. So let's try it out. Hey, Panajotes, happy 5th year anniversary. I wish you to always work on the field you love and care for. Oh, thank you so much for the €5 super chat, Panajotes. Have you been to Snug Harbor? I've been before. I actually did a live video there a few years ago. Gary says, I tried to get Ariel shades to be delivered to Scotland, but the retailer wasn't up for that. Warby Parker has not expanded to Europe yet? I'm kind of surprised. But hope they do at some point. But Warby Parker also has stores here in New York and a few other major U.S. cities. So if you visit the U.S., you'll be able to find these glasses and you can buy them. Congratulations on your 5-year anniversary, says Jimmy Jam. Continuous growth on your channel and career as you continue exploring new cultures and food. God bless you, my friend. Oh, so glad, Jimmy Jam. It was the occasional dividing up jokes, says Xander. Yeah, Xander. Xander's referring to the jokes of me saying that I'm staying in Europe. Yeah, you have to understand, I'm a person who loves to travel, and I've been here in New York my entire life. So naturally, I personally have the itch to keep on traveling. I love traveling. I love being in other places. I kind of want, I love experiencing something novel. So when I joke around that I'm done with New York, yeah, it's a joke. It's a joke, but also because at this point in my life, I love exploring other places, and I think that's okay. And I think it's okay also to joke around. That's another thing that ties into the kind of intellectual discourse that might sometimes sound critical. It's also joking around. It's a chat. It's okay to joke around. I think humor sometimes people just don't have the patience for it, which is a bit sad. been with you most of these 5 years. Have you experienced any flooding? No, luckily not. I've not experienced any flooding. So this quiche is amazing. I love great use of eggs. The eggs are still very fluffy. I love the veggies. They're all local veggies. And so fluffy and so... The breading is just perfect, not too much, not too little. And also they don't overdo it with butter, which sometimes American quiches run at the risk of doing. Also French. The French also sometimes slather in butter, but this one is just perfectly... balanced. That's delicious. Mala sent 1,000 stars. Thank you so much, Mala. Enjoy anniversary quiche. Indeed, I am enjoying a good anniversary quiche. Hello, Nina. Best speakers, narrators, and teachers employ humor. That's right. That's right, I agree. Better than egg bites from Starbucks, says, indeed they are. Ashley, while I do enjoy a good egg bite from Starbucks, they are not fresh. Not in the least bit. And the eggs, you know, when you have those eggs from fast food places, they have kind of they taste different. They don't taste like a real egg. So, yeah, better than the Starbucks egg bite. Though, in terms of fast food, Starbucks egg bites, probably one of the best things invented in recent fast food history. I've been to Mamam before. Their food is nice. I never had the quiche though. Yeah, BA, try the quiche. Hey, Vaslav, nice to see you here. Cynthia says you're early. It's not 2. I said 1 p.m. I said 1 p.m. 1 p.m. New York time. I was a bit late because I was trying to find a quiet spot to live stream. I first joined you when you did a video of Old Town 1. Really, Cynthia? Wasn't it a bit before? Sometimes I've had a few followers who say they followed me just a year or a few months. I can swear, Cynthia, you've been watching for longer, but I'm so glad you started tuning in. Yeah, Old San Juan was amazing. Did you ever visit Costa Coffee when you visited the UK? Oh, I did. I did not actually partake in drinking Costa Coffee, but I sat in it. Whenever I had to meet up with a friend in London, Costa Coffee was like the easiest place to meet up. It was comfy, lots of tables and chairs inside, and yeah, great place to just quickly meet someone. Don't order the quiche from Fresh Direct. You got so sick with this one. Oh no, Nina, that's sad to hear. Paul, so kind of you to send 2,235 stars. Thank you so much, Paul. That's so awesome. Thank you so much. Do you have jet lag after being gone so long? What time does it feel like to you right now? Deanne, that's a great question. I just realized yesterday it was like 9 p.m. and I just felt insanely tired. And it was weird because I drank like my coffee, which I usually drink at like 3 p.m. Yesterday I really didn't go out, so I wasn't like kind of doing exercise or walking for long distances. But just at 9 p.m. I felt so tired. That happened to me a few times this past week. Or at 9 p.m. I just started getting very tired. Tired in a way similar to staying up at like 3 a.m. That's how it felt like. I ended up realizing, I ended up doing searching, that jet lag symptoms can sometimes last up to a week, if not 2 weeks sometimes, but a week is usually kind of the maximum that most people experience. So they can last up to a week. So yeah, I've had jet lag so far for 6 days. And I didn't realize, luckily, because the time shift meant that at 8 p.m. was more like 2 a.m. for me. How long do you believe till your next international adventure, says Isabel? Stay tuned towards the end of the broadcast. Thank you for going to Italy, says Tina. Now I can say I've seen Rome and Venice. I'm so glad. I'm so glad. quiche. One of the most best inventions ever made. Makes sense. You were away the whole summer. Yeah. So yeah, I did experience jet lag. I just wasn't kind of so obvious to me. But when I realized yesterday, well, 9 p.m. Why am I feeling so tired? That's when it made sense. Getting sun on your legs helps with jet lag. Really? Isabel says, love the suspense. Oh yeah, stay tuned toward the end of this video. I discovered many New York streamers last year during the Christmas break. You are the only one I'm still watching, says G Corp. Thank you so much, G Corp. I'm so happy I have entertained you for that long. Thank you so much. Happy B-Day to your show. Yes, 5 years. Urbanist has been running. Thank you everyone so much for your support in various ways. Every entertainer needs an audience, so thank you for even the watching is so awesome. Just like every gardener needs people to enjoy their garden, every barkeep needs patrons at the bar. Every painter needs people to see the painting. Every live streamer needs people to watch the live streams. So thank you so much for watching these live streams. And then people have gone above and beyond in many different ways, like Paul, Kay, Janice, Panagiotis, Cynthia, the list goes on of people who have supported on PayPal, on Patreon, on Facebook supporters, on YT memberships. Thank you so much for supporting a myriad of ways, because with your support I've been able to show you more and more interesting places. Every performer needs an audience, indeed. I found you an Action Kid and I've been watching you more now, says Joe. I'm so glad you're tuning in. Hey, Laureen, Mona. Yeah, we have a huge list of people. Malaki, there has also been Carol. There's people who support who don't comment, so thank you also for supporting nonetheless. If you can see, why not supporting something that you enjoy? If you can, why not support? Panajota says, if you can, why not support something you can enjoy? Yes, indeed. Happy anniversary, says Susan. Thank you so much. When are you coming over to Asia? The pandemic still makes things tough. The place I would go to Asia immediately is Japan. But Japan is still hard to get into. Susan said 500 stars. Thank you so much, Susan, for the 500 stars. Gwen, thank you so much. Hey, Maureen says, enjoy your 5th year. Thank you so much. Your mom must be so happy that you're home. Indeed she is. Thank you, Nina. I'm going to finish off this quiche, and then I have a special treat. The last course of this picnic. Hey, Bob, thank you so much for the $2 super chat. It's a no-brainer to support a channel. Who said this? Malaki, like yours, to support good work. Thank you so much. What do you think about our world? I think our new world is insane and weird. I can tell you this. That's a great question. I can tell you this. Denmark, I read, I have to verify this, but apparently Denmark in mid-October is ending every single lockdown requirement, every single check, everything. They're ending everything that was pandemic related, and they're stopping with all the restrictions. I really do appreciate that. So I like that Denmark, apparently, I gotta verify this, but I like that Denmark apparently is taking a step forward to moving forward. The sweet container looks familiar. Oh, it does look familiar. Indeed, it does look familiar. Mona, thank you so much for the question. you say that New York has to do a better job with trash. Yeah, it does. Feel free to ask me any questions about Urbanist. I'll answer only questions about Urbanist, about the show itself. For that. If for other questions, you can ask me on the regular show when it comes to New York or travel. Come and live in the UK, says Neil. I want to. The UK is still tough to get into. I think Gary has mentioned Scotland a few times. Yeah, it's still a little bit tough to get into those countries. And also Japan closed, so I would love to go to Asia the moment Japan is open. Where do you get the quiche? From a place called Maman. Hey Lorraine, thank you so much for the happy anniversary message. Hey Susie, Joe, nice to see you here. You speak English very easy, and I improve my English with you, says Russia. Thank you so much, Russia. I'm so glad. I get that comment often. People say that I speak an English that's very easy to understand by people who are non-English speakers, and they are able to really understand what I'm saying. So that's really awesome to hear. Hey Renuka, nice to see you here. Enjoy watching your Italy videos. Happy Urbanist anniversary. Hi from Marionette, Georgia. My birthday's today. Hey Renuka, happy birthday. Everyone give Renuka a happy birthday message. Renuka is tuning in. Thank you so much for watching, Renuka from YT. When is the Urbanist skyscraper getting built? Need the HQ now that's been going on for 5 years. Soon, TBD for the Urbanist skyscraper headquarters / rooftop coffee bar. Stay tuned. Ariel, has your meat pie quest ended? Says George. Feel free to ask me anything about Urbanist. Gary says we'll smuggle you in through the Scottish border with a blanket. Thank you, Gary. I appreciate the effort. Hey, Ariel, nice to see you here. Ariel, my father's tuning in as well. What are your big plans for the show moving forward? Oh, that's a great question, Mala. Great question. Mala, also thank you so much for your stars. Oh, I just finished that quiche and just fell in love. So, what's my plans for the show moving forward? I see Urbanist on a major streaming platform. Ariel sent 1,000 stars. Thank you so much. We have 1,000. Facebook is doubling stars this month. So if you are on Facebook and you're sending stars, they count for 2. So yeah, in moving forward, I want to bring Urbanist to a streaming platform. Not in live, because live works best right now on YT/FB. But I want to bring an Urbanist style kind of storytelling and it's kind of like immersive quality that I have with these live videos. I kind of want to translate that into a big budget production. For example, a lot of the way there are things that I do on live video that can be implemented into a high production edited cinematic documentary. So for example, on live videos, they're mostly single take. Even my TikToks are also single take. Doing long takes is something that kind of makes you feel more immersed into the place that I'm showing you. I want to bring that to high production. I haven't seen too many documentaries, series that bring the best qualities of films like Children of Men, Birdman. There's many other great single take films, because sometimes they cheat in various ways, but long take films, I love that. Or like, if you've ever seen a film like Goodfellas by Martin Scorsese, there's a great scene where the guy's talking about him rising up in the mafia, and he's going to a party, but he goes through the back door. That entire scene is shot in a single take of him going through the back door. He goes through the back door, greets all the staff, the cooks and the chef, and he goes into the party, and it follows him through the party. He has his lover on his arm, and you see them kind of walking through, and then he sits down, greets people, and then he sits down at the main table, and boom, that's where the scene begins, the chat or the conversation. It's all shot in one take, the entire experience. Easily, a film like that, you could have shot that in edited, or you could have done it as a montage. Door, kitchen, hi, restaurant, walking in, shake hands, cut to table. You could have done that chopped up into a montage. And some people do that really well, like Edgar Wright in his films. But when you do it in a single take, it might not seem so important in a logical way. But what those scenes serve is to immerse you deeply into the place, into the scene. Nothing in particular is happening in terms of plot, because the conversation happens once the single take ends. It's to immerse you into it. A lot of these TV shows immerse you through beautiful cinematography, which I do enjoy, like A Chef's Table. But I want to immerse you with camera movement, with a single take shots, long take shots. Make documentaries like that, a documentary series about history like that. And I think, or travel. So yeah, that's what I would love to do. I'd love to bring these qualities of Urbanist, and also the music as well, into a major streaming platform like Netflix. Will I ever get the ability to get permission from Electric Lady Studios? You know, I never tried, George. That's a great question. Maybe one day I'll attempt to do so, because that is a very important spot. I think I even met someone who worked there, so I might have a connection. Can you do a single take, then a montage to show us the difference? Says Cynthia. So if you want to see the difference, Cynthia, I mean, the easiest difference is my Friuli video is a montage where I showed the beauty of Friuli, and basically every other TikTok video is a single take. Radio, thank you so much for 500 stars. I'll show it to you right now. I think let's do that right now, so people know what I'm talking about. Let me find it. So bear with me as I find. Bear with me. So I'm looking right now for a montage video I did of Friuli, which is a gorgeous, gorgeous place of Italy. And here it is. Okay. Okay, so I'll show you a single take. I mean, not single take. This is what is called a montage. Montage means several different clips that tend to be short, edited together. I'll show you about 30 seconds of this so you know what a montage is. This is what most shows like Chef's Table on Netflix incorporate. This is what they do. So as you can see, that was a lot of different cuts edited together. And they're quick and they're meant to show a place, or they're meant to show something in a way where it cuts through space and time. So it condenses space and time. And montages are actually very good in condensing space and time. So if you're showing someone, for example, the hero getting ready to get on a plane, you show cuts of the aspects of getting ready to board the plane. Passport, baggage, out the door, taxi, arriving, taking the plane. That's like a montage. But a single take is this. This is the Ariel Vieira classroom. We got the Urbanist classroom here.
You won't believe the real reason why the Parthenon's roof is missing. We have to go back to September 26, 1687. The Ottoman Turks ruled Greece and the surrounding areas. It was a very old empire. However, they went into war with the Venetians. They decided to store their explosives and weaponry right inside the Parthenon. Well, the Turks actually had that habit of doing that because they thought to themselves, no one's going to bomb a timeless classic monument that's known all around the world. Before then, you'll be able to walk through the Parthenon like you can walk today through Rome's Pantheon. It was completely intact. It was still a full building with a full roof, with rooms. Well, the Venetians attacked. And as they attacked, they tried to bomb the Acropolis.
So that is a montage. That is a single take. That is a one take. As you can see, I did not cut. And that might not be the best example of what can be done with a one take, as more of a simplistic version, because I'm just talking about the Pantheon right there. The Parthenon, I mean. However, one takes can be taken to a much more kind of cooler level. Just watch a film like Children of Men to kind of get the idea. I have done something. For example, in Mexico, I went to Xochimilco, the area with the canals. And that broadcast, despite lots of lag, showed me the power of live video, because the video I started on a petty taxi. It's a taxi on bicycle, and he's riding the bicycle. We're starting right there with Yubish and a new friend Fernanda, and we're kind of there. And then we drive all the way. We got to rush over to meet the guy who's doing the canoe, and we get on the canoe. All that in a single take. I'm not cutting away for that live video, obviously, because it's a live video. But that felt so damn immersive, I think. Let me know if you remember that episode, The Canals of Mexico City. It felt so immersive because you're kind of just thrown into the thick of it, and you're going from place to place, and you're not cutting away. And that makes you feel really like you're there, even though you're watching it from your phone or on your big screen TV. It doesn't matter. It feels like you're there. That's what I want to do with a Netflix show. When is the Urbanist Masterclass in streaming and video making? You know, there's a super popular Facebook video maker who now is selling masterclass classes for 1 hour, I think 1 or 2 hours, something like that, for $49, $50, and he teaches you the master class of storytelling. And I found this rather humorous because while this creator is very established and very good at what he does storytelling in only one format. Edited videos are 3 minutes, 1 minute to 3 minutes. That's it. He hasn't done storytelling beyond that. And I found it very amusing. Like, wow, he's selling a very expensive class for like an hour to watch a video about the master class of storytelling when you're only showing kind of a tiny fraction of storytelling. There's so much more to storytelling than making a 1 minute edited video. You can become a master at that, definitely, but there's a lot more to storytelling beyond that. I think to truly know storytelling, you have to know all the aspects of storytelling. I think that's why Picasso was such a great painter, because Picasso did not merely stick with just still life or with Impressionism or with Cubism. He did all of them, every single one of them. And I think that's why he was a master painter, because Picasso, even though in his later life was doing all abstract Cubism, at any moment he could have painted you something still life and done it excellently. I think same thing with storytelling. I think to be a true master storyteller, you can't just stick to one form of storytelling. To master, I think you have to do everything. And I'm more concerned with doing everything than kind of sticking to one format. So that's why my live videos sometimes differ. I do videos that are 6 hours where I'm not stopping. I don't research them because there's no way I can research a 6-hour video most of the time, with some exceptions. And it's spontaneous. I'm kind of going with the flow. I'm meeting people. I'm going to a different adventure. I'm taking a random ferry. I'm going to a random neighborhood. I'm going to a random restaurant. And that is, I've learned that you can still tell stories spontaneously. You can still tell a story without a plan, without a script. You can still tell a story on an adventure you don't know where you're going and make a story out of it. Also, you can tell a story that's very well scripted and very well planned as well. Or what I learned in my TikTok videos that I also post on Facebook is that I can take a story that usually would be a 10-minute story and tell in such a bombastic way that it condenses it into 1 minute or 2 minutes or 3 minutes. And also shot in one take as well. Or I can do edited and show you the story in a different way. So yeah, I think that's why I run Urbanist the way I do. It's getting to the heart of telling the best stories possible. Paul says you have to master classical painting before you can justify abstract. I think some of the best abstract painters are the ones who can also paint classically, yeah. Few people are living an exciting life as you do, says Nina. Oh, I'm glad you think so, Nina. And in a way, it's all storytelling. It's the mundane can also be made very exciting. For example, a few years ago, I was right by the Whitney Museum. And I really wanted to make a live video, but I had no idea what to make it about. I wanted to tell some history, but I had no idea what history to say. But I noticed there was a long line because there was some type of event at the Whitney. And oh, it was there was like an opera event on the High Line. People were lining up for that, and I wanted to show. I was going to do a live video of the opera event at the High Line, but I ended up finding out that the line was crazy long, and people were waiting for hours. So I was kind of screwed. Now what live video would I do now? I promised I was going to do opera at the High Line. And I got curious and I started researching lines. I was just very curious. Why do people line up? Why do people organize into lines? What is the history of people lining up? And I researched it and it was very fascinating. Right now I forgot what it was, but I made an entire live video talking about the history of lines. And it might sound like the most boring thing ever, and it could easily be very boring, but I think many of the people who did watch that show had a blast because it was completely unexpected. I made an entire live video talking about the history of lines, talking about a line that I couldn't get in because it was way too long. And I think that's why I love about this show is that I can push storytelling to its limits in these different ways. Nina says, Candid Camera did a show, people lining up. Yeah, indeed, yeah. And then the people just line up even though there's no particular thing to wait in line for. Is the lines video, it's on FB, and it's like 4 years ago. It was a pretty old video on FB. Hey, Roxanne, thank you so much for the $10 super chat. Thank you so much, Roxanne. As a teacher, I'm working on improving my storytelling skills. Yes, Inspire Life. Hell yes. I have various teachers tuning in. As you probably know, storytelling is often the best way to teach someone. If you tell a story, you really get to the heart of people's imaginations, and they can take in knowledge a lot easier, a lot deeper. Because if you feel the knowledge, you will remember it for years. I'm just about to serve dinner and be away from the TV, says Susie. Will you just let me know where you're going? We'll keep some dinner. Said Susie, can you just let me know the ending of this video already? No, Susie, you will have to tune in to the end. You can watch the replay. We're in Suffolk County. Yeah, I forgot to change Nightbot. Happy anniversary. Hey, Alice. Nina says, so true. Storytelling grasps one's attention as opposed to just giving information. Right. I've noticed online people have impatience with storytelling. They just want to know the bit of information. And for some reason, those people complain on my videos. But video is rarely the best format to just get the bit of information. If you're watching a video to get just bit of information, you're going to be sorely disappointed. Most videos are not going to do that. It's not the format. The format to get a bit of information is written text. That's where you get your bits of information. Usually not a video. Some video makers do super informational videos that are straight to the point. That's true, but best format served for getting immediately to some type of information is text. And I think this impatience for storytelling also is indicative of us being having short attention spans. We're so spoiled nowadays, and there's a dragonfly flying around here, which is very nice. Oh, he flew away. Okay, can't catch it. Oh, there he is. got distracted by the dragonfly. But I think a lot of people are so used to these vlogs are so quick edited. Bah, 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 bah. Just the cuts are so quick. They're about 20 seconds. The average cut, I think, in some of these vlogs, like Dave Dobrik, who by all means are talented individuals. But if that's the only thing you watch and that's the only thing you're used to, you're kind of just going to get used to having everything bombarded towards you. And you're not going to get used to kind of the slow process of telling a good story in a different way. Not all stories have to be told in quick succession cuts. There is fun in just hearing someone speak. I know the reason I make these videos is because that's how I enjoy passing time, is listening to speakers such as Alan Watts, or Terence McKenna is another great one. His talks are hours long. He's no longer with us. He died in the early 2000s, but his recordings are still there. Search him up on YT. He has these long conversations that are the craziest things you will ever hear. But he tells it in a way that is so intriguing. You can't get the quality of Alan Watts or a Terence McKenna, and there's many other great speakers like that, in a quick edited vlog. You just can't. It's a different quality. That doesn't mean it's higher quality or lower quality. It's a different quality. Conversation is an art, says Gwen. Yes, it is. Let me move a little bit back towards the shadow. I'm fascinated by your video of Citicorp Center and the gal who saved it. It was cool, and then came up on the travel, channel with the name of the gal who wrote the paper. Oh, really? A Travel Channel ended up covering that story. So Susan is referring to my video that went viral on YouTube. Unfortunately, it's the video I've gotten the most hate comments on. And it's about the building that nearly fell down, the Lexington building, 601 Lexington. Nina says, you have a gift for storytelling as well as being instructional because you like doing this. Your curiosity, desire for exploration are the ones that makes us all feel like a friend. Oh, I'm so glad. Dr. Tashi says, hate comments. Yeah, indeed I did. Insane amount. It's the crazy amount of hate comments. It was, I told the story rather slow because it was very cold when I recorded that video. I recorded that video spontaneously, and it was like 28 degrees Fahrenheit. It was very cold. And I did it rather spontaneously. So it's not my best work of storytelling, but it frustrated so many people that it went very viral. So sometimes, and I got quite a bit of money from it. So sometimes failing in public is a great way to push your career forward. You know, a lot of us are so afraid of failure, of saying something wrong, or making a bad product, or messing up. However, messing up has sometimes led me to awesome bursts of success where I do some mess up. Like on TikTok, there's been a few instances where I just mispronounced something and it goes viral because everyone's trying to correct me on that pronunciation of that thing. And I get so many new followers from it, and followers end up being very good audience members. And of course, with so many views, I end up getting ad revenue, especially on YT. So sometimes I would encourage you, if you're a video maker, mess up. Don't stress out too much about messing up publicly. Because if someone holds it against you, it's on them, it's not on you. All right, now for the final treat of this day. We learn from our mistakes. We do, Lena. Ladies and gentlemen, a cronut. Oh yeah, a fig jam cronut. My favorite treat in all of New York. One of the best pastries invented in the history of mankind, humankind. The cronut. A amalgamation of croissant and donut. A little bit of Paris and a little bit of New York coming together, having a good time. Oh yes, a cronut. Made by Dominic Ansel. There has been many copycats. The dosant, there's a few other terms for it. People have made other terms for it. The dosant is one of them. The dosant, but none of them come close to the original. A thing that takes 3 days to make because this dough has to be very slowly fried in order to make it perfectly. The cronut, ladies and gentlemen. Let's enjoy it. Can I see the construction of the box? Yes. You open it up over here, and then you open it up over here. There we go. Let me go. There we go. Wide angle. There we go. Coffee will go well with that cronut. Well, luckily, I have coffee. Oh, I'm so excited for this. So you gotta watch out. If you bite in too hard, it might squirt in your face like an alien film. So do watch out. Bite with caution. Oh my God. I think I gotta change my pants. I just made a mess. Oh, because the sugar splashed on my pants. That's what I'm talking about. And the grass. That's why. Yeah. Wow, this is so good. Look at all those layers. Welcome home, says Paul. Indeed. Look at all those layers. People say naughty. What are you talking? Sugar fell on my pants. I gotta get new pants. All this damn sugar. Wow. I didn't get a taste of the jam yet, but the breading. Oh. Oh. That's heavenly. Ashley says Ariel makes interesting sounds when he eats. Yeah, I do. Well, I'm in love. This is an immensely delicious cronut. And look, it's already starting to squirt. Luckily, it didn't squirt all around my face. That would have been very inconvenient, having all that almond ganache squirt in my face. Wow. Melody, thank you so much for 50 stars. I'm feeling good. Oh yeah. I got so much sugar in my hands. Linda says, oh my goodness. Wow. In order to talk about food, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to give you a big pro tip. To talk about food, because I get a lot of kids specifically who say, "Oh, hey, I want to do what you do." Actually, the range even goes forward. There's people much older that want to say that they want to do what I do. If you're going to feature food, you have to be a cunning linguist. It's very important. A very cunning linguist. Otherwise, you can't talk about food. It won't nowhere near be as engaging. So, be a cunning linguist if you want to talk about food. Wow. Delicious. So the fig jam is great. Combined with that almond ganache. Mark says I'm masticating the park. Yeah, I'm indeed publicly masticating. Wow. Great. This is one of the best things ever made in the history of organic matter. It's even beyond humankind. This is a work of art that transcends humanity. With that coffee. Oh my God. Paul says it transcends humanity, and it's the best thing that has ever happened to organic matter. Yeah. Alice says, be careful with what you bite. Certain things can squirt and splash sugar all around you. Yeah, do watch out. You do not want to have a face filled of ganache. Otherwise, then it's going to be a very awkward conversation with your friend. I'm meeting up with a friend a little bit later. It'll be very awkward to explain to her why I have a lot of ganache on my face. It'll be very awkward. Sil says, I'm guessing cronut equals a donut with a croissant? Yes. A donut and the croissant met each other. And they built a lovely relationship. And after many years of getting to know each other, and marrying, of course, the donut and the croissant decided to ask the stork to bring a child that they can raise and take care of. That child that was brought over by the stork was the croissants. The cronuts. Carol says, you're too adorable. Roy says, love your sunglasses. Thank you so much. And I think I got pop in my earbuds. Says huge congratulations. Love your videos. Is that Queens behind you, says Louise. I'll let everyone know where I'm going towards the end of my video. I'm going to ask 5 more minutes. Feel free to ask me anything about Urbanist. And then afterwards, I will tell you the important news. And then later, as I finish, I'll tell you where I'm at. Neil says, where are your set? How do you rate it? Neil, I only rate benches and avocado toasts. This is grass. It's good. It's good grass. Good grass. Yeah. Especially combined with the cronut. Ooh, nothing beats a little bit of good grass with some cronut. And as they say here in the great city of New York, dead ass. Camilla says, what's the important news? Lorene sent 5,000 stars. Boom! Oh my God, Lorene just left a star bomb. Lorene has left a supernova. Oh my God, 5,000 stars is very generous. $50. Thank you so much, Lorene. Lorene just left a supernova. Watch out, everyone, in the FB comments. Be sure to shield yourself from gamma radiation because the supernova has just happened in the Facebook comments. Thank you so much for 5,000 stars. We're getting closer and closer to our goal. I think now we should be 81,000 away, 82,000 away from 100,000 stars, which Facebook will be doubling up. And that'll help fund this next trip that you will be learning about. What are stars, Neil? Neil, I'm referring to Facebook. So I'm streaming concurrently Facebook, YT, and Twitch. All three at the same time. And I'm also on TikTok, if you don't know. All those other three platforms is Urbanist. TikTok is my name, Ariel Vieira. Nina says millennials call it weed. No, Nina, I was referring to the grass that I'm sitting on. No. Over 13,000 stars were sent. This broadcast says K. Oh, thank you so much, K. All right, everyone, feel free to ask me anything about Urbanist. I had a few questions before, so feel free to ask again if it's about the show itself. About the show or storytelling or filmmaking, which are relevant to the show. Nina says, was trying to be funny with the millennial joke. Indeed, I know. I was trying to be funny with responding to your joke in a serious way. I tend to do that. If I know someone is saying the joke, I tend to like making the anti-joke and seriously responding to that joke. Oh yeah, so Inspire Life has a series called Suburbanist. And this ties into Panajotis' joke. Thank you so much for asking, Panajotis. I'm not sure if you're still watching, but Panajotis says, where do you see yourself in 5 years? A few people asked that, actually. I aim to bring my form of storytelling to Netflix or to any major live streaming platform. Could be Discovery, could be Hulu, could be Amazon. I want to bring it, or to television. It will depend on the television station, but I would love to bring it somewhere mainstream. But beyond that, I would love to see if there's a way to expand Urbanist beyond myself. It's always been my intention to do that at some point. Not sure when, but that might entail making spin-off shows. So I'm not sure if I'm ready to share Urbanist with another host, but maybe I'm ready to train a new host and hire them, have them as an employee to make a spin-off show like the Suburbanist or the Ruralist. That'll be fun to say over and over again, the Ruralist. Or the Naturist, I think, was the one I would love to spin off. I don't explore too much nature, but after seeing Lake Como, Sauris in the Friulian Alps, and Santorini, has made me very curious to how interesting live videos can be of naturescapes. That live videos do thrive on cities, and I myself thrive on cities. I can tell a story if I can have some urban environment to walk through. But I bet there's someone out there in the world that can tell a hell of a story of nature. And maybe that type of person might just thrive under my guidance or mentorship in how to do that. So yes, that's something I'm considering, is one day expanding Urbanist to spin-offs. Adding the thought of adding a drone shot to your videos. I do, specifically with collaborating with Cliff, who runs Streamcast Network. Yeah, it would be so awesome. So another thing I would love to do is make bigger Urbanist shows, like I did with Long Island and Flatiron before with Cliff. So to do more collaborations like that and make bigger live video episodes. Not to make that the entire show, because I still like this kind of casual element to it, but I want to have a series, that happens ever so often, and blow your mind with the ability, how far we can push live video. Not just in me individually walking around with the camera, but with the crew. That means doing a live video where it's a few cameras and a drone. That would be really interesting. So that's why I see in 5 years. And then beyond that, in 5 years also, I aim to have already made a film or two feature length. Fictional films. Do you prefer planned live streams or spontaneous live streams, says Bear in the Garden? I prefer spontaneous. I prefer planning just the basics, where I would go or where I would start from. And I love researching the general history of a location. But I don't enjoy as much a super planned live stream. Unless if it's with the crew. Like I did with Cliff, that was fun because that was planned and there's a huge crew, that's fun. It allows me to do other things that I usually don't do when doing a live stream on my own. But I prefer spontaneous because spontaneous, I think live streaming is so good for spontaneous adventures. It's fun. There's plenty of live streamers out there that are doing very well, good, planned live streams. And more power to them. I think they're doing a great service as well. But some of those live streamers are so good at planned live streams and you do it so tight that I thought to myself, why even bother to do the same thing if they're already doing it so well? So let me lean into my ability of being spontaneous. What genres of movies, sci-fi movies? Ooh, yes, Camila, great question. What genre of movies would I make? Will I make? Do I intend to make? First and foremost, sci-fi and superhero. I would do sci-fi and a superhero film, and I would love to do a romance film as well. Yeah, those type of films. My favorite genre of film, says Dr. Tashi. Which one? Sci-fi? Carolyn, Sci-Fi with the Stars. Thank you so much, Carolyn. The people in the chat are more included in the spontaneous live videos. That is true. That is true, Alexander. Yes. Alexander. Yeah, it's easier to involve the audience in the spontaneous live stream because if it's planned, you want to stick to the plan. But in a spontaneous live stream, it's easier to, on a whim, follow someone's suggestion. Panagiotis, great question. Have you thought of upgrading to a compact DSLR? So I had a major company send me a camera that promised to have live streaming built into the camera. And I got the camera and it didn't work. I gotta see if it works again, if they fixed up the issues. But I was so disappointed. This company made such big promise of making this awesome camera with built-in live streaming, and it just didn't work at all. And there's another live streamer out there who collaborated with that same company. So the problem with a DSLR is that you have to have it stabilized is the best way to do a walking live stream. Handheld is okay, but it's better a stable live stream. So for me to do a solo DSLR live stream is already a lot of baggage. I have to carry a bigger camera with a bigger microphone, and I have to have the HDMI cable stretching to like a live view, which is a live streaming encoder and the data itself. So I have to use that. So it's a lot of carry. If a camera had built-in live streaming capabilities, I would still have to carry a hotspot or a phone, and it gets tricky. So beyond that, I have to have it stabilized. Generally, it'll be better if it's stabilized. I've done DSLR live streams before, Panagiotis. Back in 2018, I collaborated with an amazing company called Live View, and they were so kind enough to lend me their live streaming encoder. I did a few of those live streams, but they're so heavy. I can't spontaneously go to a restaurant. I can't spontaneously take some new form of transportation with a huge camera and a wire sticking out of my backpack. It brings too much attention. So it works in places like a park or a planned live stream of a neighborhood, but it doesn't really work in a spontaneous situation if I'm handling the camera myself. And then adding a big gimbal is a lot of weight. And big gimbals are not so reliable as a small iPhone gimbal. So all that said, it's a big setup, and then I can't read comments, so I have to have a comment viewer mounted on the camera. And that's tricky to do because if I'm balancing with the microphone as well. So I have to mount everything on top of the camera, have a huge wire sticking out, and a massive gimbal. It's a huge setup that makes me stick out like a sore thumb, even in the middle of Times Square. So it's better to have a phone because I'm more flexible. If I am being filmed by someone, like the videos I've done with Cliff, then yes, because I'm not the one holding the camera. So I can still be spontaneous with the limits of what the cameraman can do. I can still be somewhat spontaneous in that case. Apple's building surveillance software into every unit from now on with level of artificial intelligence censorship, says Hyde. Yeah, unfortunately, that is indeed the case, Hyde. Indeed the case. Grape says, yeah, that's hard to manage. I asked because you like getting different shots with different lenses. Would be amazing for your artistic style. Oh yeah, great question. Yeah, great. I would. When it comes to a lens, remember, if you have a bigger camera, you have to actually shut down the camera to switch to a new lens. So even with a variety of shots, it'll still be difficult with a DSLR camera. If it's a multi-cam shot, I can have one camera that's a wide angle and one camera that's a zoom lens, and then I can have a variety of different shots. But either I'm in front of the camera or I'm directing it. It'll be hard to do both at the same time with the live stream. So yeah, it's a bit tough. It's a bit tough, but I think the future is bright with cameras. They're only going to continue getting better and better. And soon there'll be a DSLR camera that's a live streaming camera all built into one where you can see the comments right on the screen. That's going to happen at some point. Ludo says, thank you for the 5th year anniversary. A mirrorless camera with a gimbal would work. Yes, it would work. All right, if I miss any other questions, feel free to ask. Let's see. LiveView is amazing. Yeah, great company. I agree. Live streaming and augmented reality is the future. Yeah, it is, Panagiotis, indeed. Apple's... Oh, I already read that. A romance film. Hello, Woody Allen. I've got an idea. I would not direct it Woody Allen style, says Nina. Nina, yeah. When I say romance films, there was a stint in the 80s where there was these really good romance films that were a little bit more serious than the rom-com, but not so dramatic as maybe some drama films now that have some romance plot lines that are always dealing with death and a murder or something like that. I would not make a film like that. I think the serious romance movie has to be revived. Films like Before Sunrise. But there was films that are a little bit more romantic than Before Sunrise back in the 1980s and 90s. What do you use to hold your phone? I use a DJI Osmo Mobile 4. DJI Osmo Mobile 4. It's a gimbal, Danny. What do you use to take your pics? My iPhone as well. Exactly what I shoot my videos with. iPhone 11 Pro. That's what I literally take my photos with, and I edit them in Adobe Lightroom. I color correct them. I really don't do more editing than that. It's color correction. Hey, from the Caribbean island of St. Martin. Hey, island girl, thank you so much for watching from St. Martin. I miss the Caribbean. What about the Winona Ryder Ethan Hawke movie? Ooh, which one are you referring to, Camilla? Do let me know. Are you referring to Reality Bites? It's not really too much of a romance film. Paul says sci-fi rom-com. I would do a sci-fi rom-com. Yes, I would. I think the only closest thing that you can get to a good sci-fi rom-com is Scott Pilgrim versus the World, directed by Edgar Wright. In my opinion, an excellent film. Congratulations on the 5-year anniversary. Yeah. Where can I get a new pair of those Urbanist sunglasses? Warby Parker. Hello from the Caribbean island. Hey, thank you so much for tuning in. I was thinking about European romance type films, right? Hey, SJ, welcome, welcome, welcome. Hello from Turkey. Hey, Halil, nice to see you here. What is one location in NYC that you can't get enough of wandering? Oh, I can't really answer that question because I actually don't feel like wandering too much with New York City. I feel like I've done it all. But one place I always gravitate to is the Upper West Side. I really love the Upper West Side. Island Girl says, I love your videos. Congrats on the 5 years. Thank you so much, Island Girl. Carmen says, congratulations. Can you name all the countries you've been to? Yeah, I mean, people might be able to help me with this, but I've been to Canada. I went to Finland, Romania, England, Spain, France, Italy, Greece. And that's it. Yeah, go somewhere else. Mexico. Yeah, that's it. I did not go to Hungary. Nina says Staten Island. Yeah, Staten Island is basically a country. But I went to a lot of cities within all those countries. So I've been to like 25 cities, but about eight countries. Hey, Yogi Bear. Nice to see you here. Will you ever consider crowdfunding one of your projects? Says Ludo. This show is crowdfunded because I have patrons who are viewers of the show that directly support the show. So this show is crowdfunded. Will I do any crowdfunded project? I don't think so. I don't find the idea of doing a crowdfund like movie so intriguing. I think the reason is because it's a much slower process, and the budget usually is not going to match a budget from a private studio or a television station or some type of interested party like a brand or something like that. I think when it comes to like big film projects, it's a bit more impactful to make it budgeted by companies. Hey, Christina says Netherlands. I've never been to the Netherlands, but I do want to go. Oh yes. Do you miss Italy? Or are you happy to be home? I am missing Italy, yeah. I'm missing the constantly seeing new cities. So it was a lot of fun. What countries would you like to visit? Asked Grape. A lot of them. A lot of countries. I'll tell you the ones that are closed at the moment that I want to visit. I want to visit Japan. I want to visit Australia. Ideally, if there were no political issues, I would 100% love to do China because there's an immense history there. And a place that's also very, very tough right now to film, especially as an individual live streamer. Maybe a vlogger might be a little bit easier, but as a live streamer, it would be Egypt and Lebanon would be the places I would love to go. But I think as a live streamer, it'll be more difficult. Love to see more cities, says Yogi Bear. Oh, yes. He came to New York City for that pizza. What food do you miss most? Oh, of Italy, I miss most the pasta carbonara. I mean, there's some carbonara here. I can make carbonara at home, but something special about going to a restaurant and just having a good carbonara. Oh my God. It's so good. And I'm missing the Fornos of Rome. The place I'm missing the most in Italy is Rome. Rome is the city I most fell in love with. What about Seoul? Yeah, I would love to go to Seoul. Yeah, Korea, 100%. Aren't you loving the weather today? Asked Nina to Susie. Yeah, it's gorgeous. I hope you're going to do a live stream with Action Kid on Halloween as we did last time. Yeah, Milos, that was fun. Okay, everyone. So, ready for the final news? Are you ready? We'll allow the individuals here to pass by. But let me know if you're ready for the last news. I want to visit Japan someday, says Chaotic Ranger, and or New York. I do hope you get to visit New York, but I really want to visit Japan. Kay says, I'm ready. Philo says, let's hear it. Camila says, yes. Panajota says, of course. The news is Ariel's engaged. No, not quite, George. Can we walk, Paul? The next walking live stream will be on September 11th. Stay tuned, September 11th at 1 p.m. Do tell, please, says Sally. Oh. Momentary jaw drop. All right, everyone, I'm going to a very special place. I'll give you a hint as to where I'm going. I'll give you 3 words, and I'll let people guess. Lorene says, no, not ready. That means you're at the end of the live stream. Indeed, I am. Do tell, please. Dubai is beautiful. Indeed it is. I want to go there from India. Oh, I'm so glad you do. So, I am right now at Pier 26 in Manhattan. Pier 26 on the west side of Manhattan. So I'll show you around right there. Boom. Is the Freedom Tower. And right here is more condominiums from Tribeca. Nina says, I have 11% battery. Please tell me. Okay, 3 hints. I'm going to a place with myth. There is grass and it's rather stony. I think those are 3 good hints. Myths, grass, and stony. I think some people will immediately know what I mean by stony, especially if you love history. Walking Commuter says Easter Island. That is Walking Commuter. Nice to see you here. That is a very good guess. A bit too far right now. I'm not sure if there's service in Easter Island for a live stream. Mater says Stonehenge. Gwen says Nova Scotia. Oh, interesting. Nova Scotia. That is an interesting guess. Jamaica says George. I'm not sure if Jamaica is known for its grass. Well, actually. Yeah, thinking about it, maybe it is, but the different, and not that type of grass. And no, not that type of stoned or not that type of grass. So no, it's not Amsterdam. That would have been a very good hint. Everyone, ladies and gentlemen, I am heading to the place of myth. Green hills and buying sheep. And also lots of seafood. A place that New York City holds a very close connection with. Because for one moment in New York City's history, 1 in 4 people were of this particular place. It's a place that has so many urbanists that have been tuning in for the longest time. They are so wonderful to be supporting the show for so long. I'm so excited to cover your own country. So everyone, stay tuned because I will be going to everyone. Ireland. And I have another book. I have another book, Ireland. So a few of you guessed correct. Many of you actually guessed correct. The land of ginger, says Susan. Yeah, let's investigate. Are there that many gingers out there? I've been told on a very few occasions that I look similar to Colin Farrell, so I'm not sure if I'll stick out so much as a sore thumb in Ireland, even in Ireland. So stones of the causeway. Yeah, the Giant's Causeway. That would be very nice. Don't worry about the language, says Sylvia. Yeah, I got to relearn English. to go to Ireland. That's where my ginger relatives came from, says Susan. Oh, Susan, that's so cool. Susan, the other Susan says, so excited on FB. Meat pie heaven. Oh yes, there are meat pies in Ireland. Maybe it's not the place where they're known for meat pies, but I assume meat pies can be found in Ireland. To the Blarney Stone. So yes, myth because there's a lot of myths. Grass because it's filled with green hills. And also there's so much rain that everything's super green. And stony because for more than 6,000 years, the people of Ireland have been building stone monuments. And we're going to visit, service permitting, one of the oldest megalithic structures in the entire world. Something that predates Stonehenge by hundreds of years, even the Great Pyramids of Giza. A stone structure that is shrouded in mystery. I'm so excited to go to this particular place. Crossing fingers, there's service there. I hope you catch some leprechauns. Oh yeah. I went there once, it was beautiful scenery. Cliffs of Mother was great. Excited for you, says Seal Bear. I hope you find some nice schist. Oh yes, I hope we find a lot of schist in Ireland. I think we will, close to the coast. Are you going to the Dublin Fringe Festival? Oh, I'm not sure. So those live streams will be starting around the 17th of September. Everyone, 17th of September is when those live streams will be starting. Stay tuned. September 17th. How long are you visiting for? It'll be for... I'll be there for a little bit more than 3 weeks. Oh my God, so soon. Yes, I'm already going so soon. Just 3 words for you. Murphy's Ice Cream. Ooh, thank you so much, S. Fields, for the recommendation. So yeah, if you are from Ireland, do let me know your recommendations. Let me know what places I should consider in Ireland. What towns, what cities, and what natural landscapes should I consider showing. Do you think you'll ever go to Scotland while you're in Ireland? Says Sally. I really want to. Right now, you run at the risk of having to quarantine in the UK if you test positive for the big disease. I can't even say the name because YT doesn't like it too much. But yeah, if you test positive, then you have to commit to a 10-day quarantine in the UK. I don't have the budget to take that risk. So at the moment, no. I won't be going to the UK. Ireland right now only requires proof of V, and that's all you need. All this travel, have you won the lottery, says Rod. Rod, no, I've worked for 5 years to show you places in New York. I've made a travel show where the majority of the show has been traveling via subway ride. And I grew it to such a size and gathered such a loyal fan base that now I'm able to show you these places around the world. So no, it wasn't the lottery. A friend got stuck in France. He tested positive with no symptoms, says Chris. Yeah, it's unfortunate with some of these places. Steak and Guinness pie will be ready, says Kay. Okay. Oh my God. That sounds good. Ariel's the boss of New York YouTubers. Basically his work paid off. F train, says Nina. Indeed, it began with the F train. Camilla says it's a risk. Yeah, it's a risk to go to the countries that force you for quarantine because that means I have to pay for a hotel or Airbnb for 10 whole days and not be able to do any videos. It's too much of a budgetary risk at the moment. Can you please look for the pot of gold? Oh, we will find that pot of gold. Maybe we'll have a live stream where we hang out with fairies. Friendly ones, though. We're not hang out with the unfriendly ones. Guinness and oysters, says Eyeball. That does sound like a good combination. Let me know if the oysters are safe in Ireland, because I know they do serve oysters there. But after my bad experience in Mexico with oysters, I haven't been so keen in trying them again. Susie says we got a spare room. Oh, thank you. Yeah, that is nice of you. Thank you so much, Susie. Susie offering for emergency quarantine if it happens, if I go to Scotland. Shortbread, says Melody. St. Patrick's Cathedral. Oh yes, Aran Islands. Ooh. Which place do you like better, Venice or Rome? Venice is magical, SJ. Venice is a magical location. Blows me away. So nothing can beat Venice, I think, in its magic. But Venice, I think, visiting maybe for 2 weeks is a bit too long, I think. I think a week could be a fun time in Venice, but 2 weeks, I think you're kind of pushing it. Unless if you kind of just want to chill out. But Rome is truly a city that has so much to do. So Rome, for me, is the place I love the most in Italy. For staying in elongated periods of time. So Sally has a solution. Sally says, so what we all have to do is pay for your 10 days if you decide to go to Scotland, and we will pay for your 10 days in quarantine. God forbid you test positive. I know a lot of Scots who tune into my show would love me to see Scotland. Believe me, I would love to see Scotland too. The women of Italy were so delightful too. Indeed, yeah, all the friends I featured, all the tour guides, the friends that I featured were all amazing. Where are people the most friendly, Teresa? Watch my philosophical chat, but short answer, Greece is more friendlier than Italy. That is not a judgment call on the culture of Italy, but Greece on more easily is more friendly. Donna, are you back in New York City? Indeed I am. I still think about that jazz boat in Rome, says NW. Yeah, that was an interesting moment. By ear, you'll never know what can happen. Thank you so much, Sally. Stay tuned, maybe. Where's What a Shame Mary Jane today? Ooh, I'm not sure. Somewhere in Italy, I think. I'm excited to go to Ireland with you. Oh, so glad. After Ireland, do you plan to visit Europe? Says Grape. Who knows? Ireland is what's in the plan. And we'll find out where in Ireland. After speaking of Greece, did you fly to Santorini from Athens? I did indeed. Brian. So if you want to lend your support, feel free to leave stars. Facebook is doubling stars this month. We have to reach 100,000. I think we're 70-something thousand away, 78,000 stars away from our goal, and Facebook will be doubling it. Otherwise, you can lend your support to patreon.com/urbanist. On Patreon, you'll get access to 360 videos of Italy and Greece, and a few more are left of Italy. About 2 more, I think, 2 or 3 more are left of Italy, and you'll continue getting special 360 videos of New York, of Ireland, of any place we visit. And also, if you want to become part of the postcard club and receive postcards from New York this month, and then Ireland right after, you can become a mega urbanist. a month on patreon.com/urbanist, or YT is also a mega urbanist option. Everyone, if we send money on YouTube as well. It helps me on any platform, Grape Jelly. YouTube and Facebook take the biggest cut. They take 30%. PayPal only takes maximum 1%. So PayPal is the best way to directly support me. Patreon, if you want to do it monthly and get access to those 360 videos, Patreon only takes about 7 to 9% around there, which is very little. So Patreon and PayPal are the best ways to support, to make sure every cent of yours goes to me. Into everything, because whatever is easier for you, I'm more than happy that you choose the option that's better for you. Thank you so much for today. I sent stars. Thank you so much for the stars, Nina, once again. What do you think you would do if you didn't do this, as Christina? I would find a way to tell stories. I would be a writer. I would be an author. I would be probably a writer. Probably be the second thing I would do if I were making videos. If I couldn't do any videos, I would be behind the camera. But if I couldn't do videos, period, I would be a writer. I support what you do. Enjoy watching you, says Jeanette. Everyone, thank you so much for tuning in. See you soon at Ireland. But before we go to Ireland, I'll be live on September 11th, on the 20th anniversary, to pay tribute once again to the terrible loss that we experienced here, to remember those people who lost their lives, and remember what used to be a very interesting piece of New York City architecture. So stay tuned. On September 11th at 1 p.m. I'll be back live. Ooh, Crystal, thank you so much for a $5 super chat. Thank you so much. I'm so glad you love the philosophical chats too. Everyone, keep being awesome and always keep on exploring. Have a great day, everyone. On a happy Urbanist Day. Bye-bye.